General Hospital spoilers will reveal that Cameron returns to Port Charles for Christmas, bringing warmth and surprise as he appears with his girlfriend, Gretchen, a talented and beautiful cello artist he met in college. Cameron's presence brings joy to Elizabeth. As a mother, Elizabeth has always longed to see her son grow up and be happy, so witnessing Cameron finding a promising new relationship deeply moves her. The whole family gathers together in a festive spirit, and Liz is quickly impressed by Gretchen, who is not only intelligent but also kind and charming. Cameron's return not only brings happiness to the family but also stirs painful memories from the past, especially the emotional wounds between him and Josslyn. Cameron and Josslyn were once a beloved couple with a bright future ahead. They shared sweet moments of young love, overcoming many challenges together. However, everything fell apart when Josslyn betrayed Cameron to pursue Dex, a mysterious and attractive man. For Cameron, the betrayal was not only an emotional shock but also a deep wound to his self-esteem and trust. He felt abandoned and replaced, something a young man like him found hard to accept. In his pain, Cameron couldn't stop being curious about Dex, the man who shattered the relationship he once cherished. He began to investigate Dex, not only to understand why Josslyn chose him, but also to confront his own complex emotions. During this process, Cameron uncovered some shocking secrets about Dex. These secrets left him torn between anger and moral responsibility. However, instead of revealing what he knew, Cameron chose to remain silent. He realized that these matters were part of Dex and Josslyn's personal lives, and he didn't want to be the one to ruin their happiness or cause further trouble. Cameron's silence was both a respectful gesture and a way to protect himself from the emotional turmoil. After the breakup with Josslyn, Cameron decided to leave Port Charles and start a new chapter at Stanford. This was an opportunity for him to escape the shadow of the past and rediscover himself. It was there that he met Gretchen, a cello artist with a deep artistic soul and sincere empathy. Gretchen's presence became a new light in Cameron's life, helping him feel loved and appreciated unconditionally. Gradually, Cameron's emotional wounds began to heal, and he thought he might finally leave the past behind. However, fate seemed determined to challenge Cameron. When he returned to Port Charles for Christmas, shocking news disrupted everything. Dex had died suddenly and mysteriously. Dex's death shocked the entire town and left a huge void in Josslyn's life, who was drowning in grief and guilt. Seeing Josslyn in such a state of despair, Cameron couldn't stay indifferent. Even though their relationship had ended long ago, a part of him still wanted to protect and comfort her. However, alongside his sympathy, Cameron couldn't help but think about the secrets he knew about Dex. These pieces of information, now, were not just private matters between Dex and Josslyn but could potentially be key to unraveling the mysterious death of Dex. Cameron was torn between moral responsibility and fear. He didn't know whether revealing what he knew was the right decision, especially since it could hurt many people. Yet, he understood that when the truth is buried, it can lead to unpredictable consequences. Cameron's return, which was expected to be a time for family reunions and peace, now unfolded into a series of tense and difficult situations, forcing him to make harder choices than ever before. In an effort to comfort Josslyn, Cameron decided to visit her to share in her pain. The initial conversation was filled with empathy. Cameron, with sincere words, tried to console Josslyn, reminding her that no one should have to endure such a loss alone. Though Josslyn was suffering, she could feel Cameron's care and temporarily found some comfort. However, as the conversation delved deeper into the memories and emotions surrounding Dex, Josslyn began to realize that Cameron's words were not just ordinary sympathy but hinted at something more. Josslyn's sharp intuition made her quickly realize that Cameron knew more about Dex than he was letting on. Her curiosity and desire to uncover the truth drove her to ask a series of questions, pushing Cameron to respond. Yet, Cameron, still torn between his responsibility to the secrets he knew and his care for Josslyn, continued to remain silent. He dodged direct questions, which only made Josslyn more impatient and determined. In a moment of vulnerability and confusion, Josslyn, no longer thinking clearly, decided to use intimacy to get closer to Cameron, hoping that creating an emotional connection would help her extract the truths he was hiding. This was an impulsive act, born from her suffering, disorientation, and helplessness regarding Dex's mysterious death. Despite Dex's recent death and Cameron's serious relationship with Gretchen, Josslyn crossed moral boundaries, letting her temporary emotions take control. This action not only threw Cameron into turmoil but also set off a chain of heavy consequences. Cameron, still having deep feelings for Josslyn, couldn't fully deny his emotions in that moment. However, as soon as it was over, he immediately felt guilty and confused. He knew he had betrayed Gretchen's trust, Gretchen, who had always been there for him, supporting him through his toughest times. When Gretchen found out, it felt like every ounce of trust and safety in their relationship had been drained. She couldn't understand why Cameron, whom she loved and trusted, would hurt her like this. For her part, Josslyn couldn't escape the guilt and confusion either. Although her initial goal was to uncover the truth about Dex, she couldn't deny that her actions had crossed a line. The harm she caused not only affected Gretchen but also completely disrupted Cameron's life. Josslyn realized that in trying to resolve her own pain, she had caused more suffering for those around her. Both Cameron and Josslyn were caught in the whirlwind of unresolved emotions from the past, and the story became more complicated as the secrets Cameron knew about Dex risked being exposed. This information not only threatened their relationship but also had the potential to change people's perspectives on Dex's mysterious death. In this situation, Cameron was forced to face a difficult decision: continue to stay silent to protect those he loved, or reveal the truth, even though it could completely destroy everything he was trying to protect. Port Charles, already familiar with emotional storms, now faced a new series of upheavals, with Cameron and Josslyn at the center of it all. Cameron's return not only brought family joy but also stirred complex emotions and underlying tensions in the relationships between the characters. For Elizabeth, seeing her son return home after such a long time brought deep comfort and happiness. However, alongside this joy, there was concern as she realized Cameron was becoming involved in matters that wouldn't be easily resolved. The presence of Gretchen, Cameron's new girlfriend, further complicated the situation, as she became an integral part of the emotional conflicts within Cameron's life. Port Charles, with its festive atmosphere, seemed like the perfect place to put worries aside and enjoy the moments together. However, Cameron's return, along with Dex's mysterious death, sparked a series of conflicts, placing the characters in challenging situations. For Cameron, returning home was not just a simple family visit, but a journey to confront old wounds and buried secrets. He had to face his feelings for Josslyn, who had betrayed him in the past, and the presence of Gretchen, who had helped him heal those wounds. The secret about Dex, which Cameron had kept hidden for so long, could no longer be ignored. Dex's sudden and mysterious death had raised a multitude of unanswered questions, making Cameron feel the pressure to make a decision. Should he reveal what he knew, despite the consequences it might bring? Cameron understood that if he revealed the truth, it could shed light on the reasons behind Dex's death, but it also risked hurting many people, especially Josslyn. Yet, staying silent also did not bring peace as he felt the pain and inner turmoil each day. Josslyn, devastated by Dex's loss, was also caught in an emotional spiral. Her pain over losing her lover pushed her into a vulnerable state, making it impossible for her to stop thinking about what could have happened. When she discovered that Cameron knew something about Dex, Josslyn became obsessed with finding the truth, regardless of the risks it would bring. Her quest for answers not only clouded her judgment but also fractured her relationships with the people around her. Gretchen, who had been Cameron's emotional support, was now pulled into this chaotic mess. She felt the growing distance between her and Cameron as he was pulled back into his complicated feelings for Josslyn. Gretchen's hurt stemmed not only from Cameron's actions but from the sense that she was an outsider in a story that had already been shaped long before she entered. In the festive atmosphere of Port Charles, anything seemed possible. Relationships that seemed healed began to fracture, secrets thought to be buried resurfaced, and Cameron's decisions not only impacted him but also everyone around him. Would Cameron have the courage to face his past, protect his present, and shape his future? Or would unresolved emotions drive him into a spiral of new mistakes? And most importantly, where would the secrets about Dex lead the story? Cameron's return was not only a milestone in his life but also the catalyst for a series of unexpected events, throwing Port Charles into a new and unpredictable phase filled with drama.